Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I thought we could do a tier list. Now I want to do a tier list for 1v1 Supremacy. So we're not including like treaty or team. This will just be for 1v1 Supremacy. And I know everyone loves a good tier list and there's always so much controversy around a tier list. So I thought I would jump on the bandwagon because I haven't done this before and yeah, give it a go. See yeah, how different civs rack up in the rankings at the moment. Yeah, but before we begin, I'd just like to shout out Free Food Party. This isn't sponsored, but yeah, go join the Discord, go check out the website. It's a great resource. They have a whole bunch of other things like different leaderboards, different statistics about like civ matchups and like win percentages, live lobbies you can check out and see who's playing right now. But we're over here in the tier list. And yeah, we're just gonna be yeah, just ranking these different civs. So let's begin. Uh, let's go, I guess, bottom to top. So we'll start with Italy. Where do I think Italy sits on the tier list? I'm going to put them in S tier. Why is Italy in S tier? Well, they've been really strong since they've been added to the game. They've got their shipments are just like so that they have such high value. Their shipments, like I think most of their shipments, like res wise, are a lot more than I guess the average. And yeah, they just the architects. They're such good units. Since the last patch, a lot of their H4 shipments, I believe, did get nerfed. A lot of their resource crates did get nerfed quite a bit. The Ufusi card, which is the XP trickle for the Lombards, got nerfed quite a bit. But there's been some new strategies emerging for Italy, which is quite nice to see because you're so used to just seeing them go H4, but now you see kind of H2 play, you see some H3 play, but it's still very tough. They've got crazy good merc shipments. They've got the Freemasons card, which enables architects to build like 100% faster. Combined with the forts, you can just like continuously build forts in like 20 seconds that have 9,000 HP. It's just so hard to deal with. So for that reason, they're an S tier. I think that they have to be an S tier. They can't be any lower. They just have so much going for them. So yeah. Next we'll go for USA. Where's USA gonna be? I think USA is S tier as well. I don't think it's as good as Italy, but since last patch, they've just had so many like small buffs like over a period of time that it's just kind of steamrolled, and now they're just this massive powerhouse. I don't really want to be biased in this, I guess, tier list. I try my best not to be biased. I'm just want to come at a perspective of like how the civs are performing based on like the patches and I guess what other people have said and what I've seen on streams and stuff like that. So yeah, back to USA. Last patch they had the German immigrants card buffed, and so now they have a really strong early game eco. They have a lot of trickles they can send. Carbine Cav also got a really good buff. And now they're probably the best goon in the game, along with Sharpshooter. Like Carbine Cav Sharpshooter is just such a good comp. It's probably the best skirm goon comp in the game right now. You know, H3, they got some really good shipments. The 2 fortified outposts, 3 Gatlings infinitely, the 12 guard Ulan. Like, they've just got so much going for it. They've got the 2 coal mines that is 6k coin. That's gathered twice as fast, which is insane as well. So USA has so much going for it. They got one of the best masks in the game simply because there's 14 range instead of 12, so it will probably always beat other Musk. Yeah, I think USA is just really good right now. Yeah, we'll go with Sweden. What do I think Sweden is? Sweden's been nerfed quite heavily. They've always been considered a really good civ, like always been an A tier civ. Maybe they're the bottom of A now. So last patch they got their top build time reduced, and the amount of wood now costs 140 instead of 135, I think it was. Carolines also cost an extra 5 food, so That's a really big nerf. But then it's also kind of made some different strategies come out for Sweden. You know, they don't have skirms. Instead of the skirms, they have a leather cannon. So it's an H2 cannon, and you can ship it as well. And it's kind of, I've seen a lot of Sweden plays like start really early with leather cannons, and it's actually, okay, I said I wasn't going to be biased, but my experiences, it's really hard to deal with H2 cannons at like 7 minutes. Yeah, so I think we're gonna put them top of B. I think they're top of B. I think they have been nerfed quite a bit, and that's why we'll put them at the top of B. That may change. We may move some things around later, but for now, that's where we'll put them. Spain. I feel like Spain is always just such a good civ pick. I feel like it's one of those civs that has like psychological power. Like when you see that you're going against Spain, it always makes you kind of like quiver a bit because you know you're gonna have to defend this crazy H3 timing push, and it gears you up. So there's that like psychological aspect to Spain, but I think Spain's always just been a really good civ. Even though you often do see H3 play with them, and they've got a super strong H3, they can also play H2. I just watched a Lionheart video about Opti doing this like 15 Huss semi, and he aged up with House of Trastamara, so it was like a cheaper H3 and it was a faster age, and then he just steamrolled, and it was a great game to watch. Yeah, but yeah, I think Spain's always been quite good. You know, their dogs are quite good. You can train them from the Explorer. I think that Piroshiki got buffed as well because Halbs now promote. So that's always really tough to deal with. So yeah, we'll leave Spain in A. Let me know if you think of any other changes to them. We'll have a look at Russia now. Where does Russia sit? Are they in C? I don't know if they deserve to be. Oh. We'll leave them at B for now. Maybe they're going to be the bottom of B, but yeah, Russia, it's an interesting one. I feel like in the hands of like a pro player, they feel like so good. And then sometimes when you go against a Russia player that knows what they're doing, you're like, wow, this civ is so strong. But then sometimes you just like crush them and Russia can't come back. So yeah, like they've had a little bit of a weird rework where some of their cards have been like split. And although at the time it looks like, oh, these units are actually getting like more buffs, because it's split into two cards, you have to like replace another card, and so people didn't like that, and then it ended up they only added like one of the buffed cards, and it was actually a small percentage. So yeah, it's interesting what's happened with Russia. They have H2 Halbs now, I believe, which is nice, but yeah, they don't feel like they're particularly strong, so we'll leave them at B. Yeah. Okay, ports. I feel like ports is performing really well this patch. They're not S tier. They're definitely an A tier. I think they're above Spain. Because Spain struggles to push into a port turtle. Yeah, but I feel like port can just be so aggressive, and they can actually just take so much map control. There's a few different ways to play port. Recently what I've seen is people actually doing a forward TC, but aging to H3 and then shipping 8 Halb, 3 Organ, and then just like kind of trying to make something happen there. And it's hard to push into that because that push starts at about 7 minutes when people are only still in H2, or it's a really fast FF they have, so it's hard to deal with when you haven't even aged up and there's 3 organs killing your base. So yeah, and then they have the option to boom behind that with 3 TCs, and yeah, I feel like they're just a really good civ right now. Maybe people are playing them a bit more, and so they're finding out a few different strategies. Yeah, I don't think they've actually been changed too much recently. I think more people are just playing them and learning how to use them. So yeah, we'll leave ports at A. Oh, here we go. Ottomans. Where are the Ottomans gonna go? Are they S tier? Are they A tier? I think we're gonna put them top of A. Are they S tier? I mean, some could argue they're S tier, but I'm gonna put them top of A. They've been nerfed slightly recently, but they're still such a good civ. You know, AZAPs are finally finding a use case in a lot of different comps just to mix in there. I think AZAPs are just a great unit. Like, it's a pikeman and a skirm, so, you know, that just sounds great on paper. They're also really cheap. We can talk about Abyss as well. Abyss is still overperforming by a lot. They kill any other skirms easily. They wreck light cavalry. They can even do well against like low numbers of shock infantry and low numbers of cav if they have enough of them. Yeah, so cav arch as well. Like Abyss cav arch is such a good comp. Yeah, so I think they definitely deserve to be top of A, if not bottom of S, but we're going to leave them top of A because they have had a few nerfs recently. The Abyss aren't as good as they used to be. What else? I think some of their church techs got nerfed slightly. Yeah, I think that's it. Mexico. A lot of people are saying Mexico is just a terrible civ right now. They feel like it's just uncompetitive. It can't compete with a lot of the other top civs at the moment. Do I agree or disagree? I think might put Mexico top of B. I feel like the only way to play Mexico well is like doing that gimmicky revolt stuff. I think that's how you win games because it's just unpredictable. You can't predict it. It just, yeah, I don't know. But then you see like pros use it and they like perform really well. So Mexico's a tricky one because you never know what they're doing, and that's where they're so good because your opponent can never predict what you're going to do. But yeah, they haven't really been nerfed or buffed recently, I don't think. Maybe with some of their revolts, but I mean, their revolts are always so good. You know, the Central America one, it's like a 2.5, like an age 2.5, but it's cheaper and you get more vills. Like I always say that Central America at 5 minutes, you're gonna have the best eco out of any civ in the game, because you get, I think it's like 5 or 6 vills, on age up, and or to the revolt. And then you have like those settler cards as well you can send based on like how many shipments you've sent. So you can like rack up like a 10 vil shipment, which is insane. And then you have even more eco. So there's lots of options Mexico can do, and that's why they're so strong. They can just literally do anything. But yeah, they don't seem to be performing too well right now. So we'll leave them top of B. Malta. Malta. I haven't seen the too much in competitive play. There's a few different options you can do with Malta. You can bow pike rush. You can do the German settler, German immigrants build. No, German tongue. Sorry, I'm thinking of USA. German tongue build with the settler wagons. You can just turtle with that. I have seen it like a few different FF build orders into like the fixed gun and like another TC and just turtling that way. But they don't seem to be competing too well right now. I think they're probably B tier. Are they better than Russia? I have to say they're better than Russia. They're better than Sweden. They're probably better than Sweden. We're gonna leave them right there. Yeah, I don't think they've been nerfed or buffed recently. They're kind of just they are what they are. Yeah, not much to comment on Malta from my end, I don't think. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas of if you change this list around or whatnot. Lakota. Lakota's a tricky one. A lot of people saying Lakota is really weak right now, but then a lot of pros are saying Lakota's fine right now, so... Or maybe I'm gonna move Russia down a tier, because I feel like Russia's not on the same as, like, Sweden or Mexico. We're gonna move Russia down. Yeah. Okay, what do I think of Lakota? I think Lakota's probably a B tier civ. I think it's fine right now. A lot of people are saying it's weak. Hmm. You know, they have people are saying it's now like an infantry focused civ. You know, Lakota's always been like a really strong cavalry civ, but those I guess openings have been they're not as strong anymore because it lacks siege, I guess, and it's just so easily countable. If you're a turtle, if your opponent just turtles, like the cav opening is just wasted pretty much. Um, so people like to go more of an infantry styled approach and then like add cav later, take map control, take stagecoach. Um, so I think Lakota's definitely a good civ right now. We're gonna leave it probably right here, below Sweden. I think so. Japan. Hmm. About a month ago, I would have said Japan's probably bottom of B, but there's a few new builds mixing around with Japan right now. The 300 food start has taken the meta by storm. And I think it's had a lot of success. People are playing Japan right now. It's performing quite well. So I don't think it's C. I don't think it's the bottom of B. I mean, I think Japan's always been a great civ. You know, its units are always performing really well. Uh, you, yeah, I mean, Yumi, probably one of the best skirm in the game. Ashi, one of the best musk in the game, has 4.5 movement speed. Its stats are just generally better than most other musk. So you're always going to have good units. You got Yabusami as well. You got Nagi. Like, all these units are great units. And then you got shrines as well. They're generating res. You're sitting in base. You don't have to go out onto the map. So I think Japan's always been a great civ. Um, Maybe people were just struggling playing against power creep civs. I don't know, but I can't put it bottom of B. I reckon it might be top of B. Yeah, because I think it. Mm, does it beat Mexico? Is it better than Mexico? I think it's better than Mexico. Okay. India. Where's India gonna go? I think. I think its XP nerf really hurt India's tempo. Hence why it's probably gonna go in B. So I think it was last patch India's XP curve got nerfed, and India just feels a lot slower now. You're not getting your shipments as fast, so you're not getting your vills as fast as well. You get a vill with each shipment, so your eco's not as strong. Um, Still a great civ. You know, they got the change to what's it called, the pikeman unit. Oh, Rajputs. There we go. That was a few patches ago, so they're now quite a good unit to use. But the C to get nerfed with their melee, so they're no longer that good against Cav. They'll still beat Cav in melee, but they just don't destroy them anymore. Which I think is fair. I think the devs just wanted to open up a few different like avenues for India to do. They wanted them to see the use of Rajputs, which I think people didn't really like. But I think India's still a good civ. It's probably fine right now. Um, yeah, so we're gonna leave them here. Is it better than Japan? I don't think it's better than Japan. I think Japan's scale is probably a bit harder than India. Yeah. Okay. Inca. Tricky one. Where's Inca gonna go? Ooh. We're gonna put it top of A. Now, I know people will be like, oh, Inca's broken, Inca's toxic, it has to be S tier. And yes, Inca, it is a tough civ to deal with. I play it myself. Honestly, it's such a fun civ. Like, I know I said I wasn't gonna be biased, but Inca's such a fun civ to play. I love to play Inca. I think probably some of the more toxic strats are like the fort FF, where you can just like pop units in and out of this fort and just siege your opponent's base. I lost to that the other day, and it was very frustrating. Um, but yeah, I think Inca's probably just one of the top tier civs right now because it's just got a great eco in the country houses. Um, it's got options to go water. It's got a really strong water play with the Chincha rafts. They're a great unit. Chimu are just amazing right now. simply due to like their small hitbox and pathing. Um, they just, yeah, they perform really well. So I think that's probably why Ink is so high. But we'll leave it at top of A. I don't think it's S because I'm a firm believer that Inca can be rushed. Because Inca always likes to punch a boom, or if they're doing an FF, uh, you can rush, and I think that'll always perform quite well against Inca. So yeah, I reckon Inca's top of A. We'll move on to Hauser. Now, I've talked with a few people about where Hauser sits. Some people say Hauser's just a free win. Some people say Hauser actually has a lot of bad matchups. I know Hauser doesn't go very well into Spain because Hauser's Hauser's weak to like FF Falc timing. So yeah, I think we'll put it at the bottom of S. I think Hauser is very strong right now. I know the current meta is to go with the Songhai age up. And that gives you that big button of 5 raiders for 500 influence. And that allows you to just get so many units out on the field. Yeah, and they have a good eco. You know, you can you have the cattle behind it from the marketplace, and yeah, that just allows you to kind of like macro a lot easier. So you don't have to keep as many vills on say wood and coin because you can just sell cattle for those different resources. So yeah, it's a very strong civ right now. We're gonna leave it bottom of S. I think definitely on livestock maps, their win rate's like 65%. So it's really hard to beat. Or Hazard and Ethiopia on livestock maps just perform so well. Yeah, so we're gonna leave it bottom of S. Yeah. Okay, next one. Haudenosaunee. What does Howd sit? I think it's probably an A tier civ. Is it better than Spain and Port? I'm not sure about that. Last patch, they did get nerfed. The Aina went back to what they were, being 1.5 rate of fire. However, they did get another upgrade card for their Forest Prowlers. So I think that's going to be reverted next patch, but we'll wait and see. Yeah. I think Howard's definitely in a good spot right now. I might put them below Ports. So yeah. I think Howard, you know, they can rush very well. They also have a decent H3. They can still play water, obviously, which just gives them really good early game eco. Yeah, so we'll leave Howard there. Germany. S tier Civ Germany. Is it S tier? I think we're gonna put Germany here. I don't think Germany's S tier. There were simply I don't know why people suddenly just said, oh, Germany's S tier. Germany's just the best civ in the game. Which it's just not true. What seriously changed for them to be S tier? I know a few people were saying, oh, like 3 settler wagons in age 2 is just broken, even though that's been the same way since 2005. I think, yeah, maybe people were just sick of Germany. I'm not really too sure. But yeah, I'd definitely say they're a really good civ. They have H2 options with like the Tower Rush. They could play a really good cav opening. They can FF into quite a strong H3. You know, you're always going to have to deal with cav going into Germany, and so yeah, you're always going to have to make specific counter units which can upset different people's playstyle. Yeah, I think, yeah, their shipments in H3 just create such a big power spike. If you can deal with that, then you're probably looking quite good. But yeah, I think Germany's always been a good civ. I don't think it's been S tier, but yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Is it as good as Otto? I'm not sure. I think it beats Ports though. Yeah, we'll leave it there. France. Where does France go? France has always been considered like probably the best balanced civ in the game. And France doesn't really change that much from patch to patch. They've tried to add like a few different openings. Like I know the Royal Embassy opening recently got added, and you can get those native musketeers, and that's a new opening for France. But generally, France has stayed the same, and it's always been quite a good civ. So I think we'll probably put France around here. You know, they could play H2, they could play H3. Um, they've yeah, a decent like semi. They have a really good semi FF. Like you can start Cav, you can start Mask, you can start Bow Pike. You can just do anything with France. So it'll always mean they're probably going to be an A tier civ, but they're never going to be like the top of A or like S tier unless some crazy patch happens and they change it. But yeah, I think France is always good. C2Es are great. You can use them in fights if you need a Velpool. So yeah, we'll leave them there. Ethiopia. I think this is the least played civ right now. Where does Ethiopia go? I don't think it's S tier. A few patches ago, it was considered S tier. Shuttle were just such great units. They were killing all infantry. Now they have a negative multiplier against heavy infantry. Or if I don't think it's a negative multiplier, maybe it's just a 1x multiplier. Because they're essentially lancers, but shock infantry lancers, but it's only against light infantry now. So since that nerf, maybe they're like below port, or maybe they're above port. But a few new metas coming out for Ethiopia. This Portuguese crossbow meta is in specifically. I played against it the other day. It seems quite strong because your crossbows only cost 30 food and 30 wood, I think, or is it 30 food, 30 coin? I don't know, but they're cheaper than normal crossbows, and yeah, you just pump them out so fast, and you still have a lot of options. You know, Jav Rider is still such great units. You can still go Shuttle, and they perform still quite well, definitely against light infantry, and they'll do all right in number against Cav. And yeah, you got quite good eco with the Abans on the monasteries. So I think Ethiopia is still a good civ. You just really need to know how to play it, and just not enough people play it, I'd say. Maybe we'll move them below port. Are they better than France? I think we'll leave them there. Dutch. Dutch has always been like, not much has changed in the Dutch meta. I think we're gonna put them in C maybe. Are they B tier, bottom of B tier? Are they on the same tier as Russia? Maybe they're bottom of B tier. I mean, banks are always great. It's just that auto-generating resource. I think we'll put them bottom of B. I don't think they're on the same tier as Russia. Yeah, but I don't think much has changed in the meta with Dutch. Like, I know the devs a few patches ago implemented those like mercs that cost coin that add to your barracks or stables, and they tried to change the meta up there, but I don't think that's really taken. I think people have decided, you know, the standard Dutch way is still better. Yeah, it's still a good civ. Yeah, I don't think I have much to say about Dutch. Not much has changed. A few patches ago, they got the bank HP and XP nerf, I believe. So a lot of people weren't a fan of that, but yeah. I like the H2 Haub opening with Dutch. That feels quite nice. It is 900 food, but yeah, I do like that for Dutch. Move on to China. I mean, China's kind of fallen out of meta recently. They've just got nerf after nerf after nerf. And so I think a lot of people have kind of stopped playing it. Still a really good civ. I'd say it's probably an A tier civ. It's a few patches ago, it was definitely considered like S or high S. Where does it go? Maybe... I don't think it's as good as Germany. Is it as good as Port? I'm not sure. Maybe it goes here. Like, it's still H3 is definitely very prominent. Has the option to play H2, although it's not its strongest option. I have seen people pull it off. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave China there. It's just been nerfed quite a bit. But it's still a very good civ. You know, you can send Manchu, you can send Iron Troops, and they are great mercs. They are so good. H3 shipments still very good unit shipments there. Um, yeah, a few different consulate openings, I believe. I believe now they have access to goons through the... Is it the Russian consulate? I'm not sure. But I think that was a change. So you no longer get Cossacks, but I think you get goons. I could be wrong there. I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But yeah, I think it's still a very good civ. We'll leave it there. Okay, Brits. Where do I think Brits go? I would say at the beginning of the year, they were considered the worst civ in the game. So they got their 3 vills removed, so you had to open with like VC, or there were a few like GMT build orders. So you age up fast to age 3 or to age 2. So a few different build orders there, but people hated that change of removing 3 vills, and so it wasn't played generally at all. But hence why 3 vills got added again in the most recent patch, I think it was. So I'd say Brits still... Are they A? I think they're top of B. You know, their manners now cost 140 wood, and when building them, the build XP has also been nerfed. So that is not the best, but it's still a great civ. Their eco's still very strong, but it's just not, I guess, overperforming. So we'll leave it at top of B. I could argue to change this to maybe bottom of A, but we'll leave it at top of B right now. I think it's better than Japan. Probably better than India. Is it as good as Spain? I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, next one. My beloved Aztec. Where does Aztec go? Some people would say it's S tier because Jaguar Power Knights are just busted. I don't think it's S tier. I think it's probably an A tier civ. I think it probably sits around here. Better than Eero, probably not as good as France. And I think it probably struggles into all these other civs. I can't see Aztec having a good matchup against any of these other civs. And honestly, super controversial opinion, I don't think Jags are actually that good. I think Jags are a terrible unit. The promotions, yeah, they're great. I think the only reason why you'd ever use Jags is to simply pop on top of units. So say if your TC is getting sieged, and you pop the big button along with the 9 Jag shipment, great. You have probably won the game just there. That is where they are such good units, but I don't think Jags are... I don't think they're very good units, because they just get countered. Like, they're such an easy unit to counter. Skirms, just destroy them. Heavy infantry will kill them, and then... Of course, Jags are a melee unit. They're always going to take damage before they actually perform. And they're not as fast as Cavs, so they're only, I think, 5 speed. It's not that fast. And so that's why I think popping them on units is the best way to use them. And so actually in H3, I don't use them because I just think they're terrible units. And it's really disappointing that they've had to nerf a lot of other H3 units for Aztec, and they've forced you into this kind of playstyle of playing Jaguar Power Knight, which I hate. But yeah, so for that reason, I will place Aztec here. You know, they got 5 builds back, so their H2 is very good again. Yeah, but a lot of people are having quite some success going H3 with Jaguar Power Knights, so yeah, but I don't think it'll beat any of these other civs. Yeah. Okay, well, that's the tier list. What do we think? Do I want to change anything around here? Is Russia the only one in C, or does Dutch or Lakota get moved down? Is Sweden this bad? I don't think Sweden's that bad. I might want to move Sweden here, because Sweden's still really good. Torps are still really good. Is Mexico this bad? Oh man, I don't know if Mexico is that bad anymore. Oh, does it beat all these other civs? I think I'm happy to leave it there. I I always hate going against Mexico because you never know what to expect. But yeah, Malta. I think Malta's fine there. Lakota and Dutch. I think they seem fine. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. Um, maybe Spain can move up a bit. Maybe Spain goes there. I feel like Spain's really quite strong right now. Maybe China gets moved down a bit. Oh, man, it's tough. Uh, yeah, I think we're gonna leave it. I think China moves down there. Yeah, I think I like this. I think I like this. So, yeah, that's my tier list. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And if you made it this far, comment panda in the comment section so that I know that you made it this far. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Again, this is just my opinion. I'm trying not to be biased. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.